Them quarter pounders are good. So nice of those humans to leave them lying around. Right, let's see what's on the telly.
On today's Bird's Eye View, we're looking at the problem of having too many pigeons in our city, and at the special measures now being looked at for pigeon reduction.
Pigeon reduction? I could do with some of that. Blimey, what kind of bird is that?
The liverbird's famous for watching over Liverpool, but it's this type of bird that's causing quite a problem.
Oi, steady on.
In any busy area of the city, you'll find lots of people and lots of pigeons, because we attract the pigeons by deliberately feeding them or carelessly dropping our leftover food scraps.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for salt and vinegar crisps.
But by feeding pigeons like this, we aren't doing them any favours. Because rich, fatty human food is very bad for pigeons, whose natural diet is seeds, grains, some types of fruit, green feed, and the odd insect.
Give me a doner kebab anytime.
The result is that the birds are often unhealthy and overweight, not a pretty sight at all. A recent survey showed that 70% of local people and businesses agreed that pigeons are a real problem. So let's see what the general public has to say.
I don't like the pigeons in Liverpool because they poo all over you. They get in your way. They come too close to you and it scares people.
I think the pigeons are really annoying in Liverpool because they always eat stuff off the floor and it makes them look really unhealthy.
Well, maybe I could do with a bath, but I'm not that bad, am I?
But sometimes when they all get angry, you think they're going to fly into you, it frightens you, you know. But normally I always keep far away from them as I can.
We have a problem with persistent pigeon feeders who come in on a regular basis, in fact every day, just to feed the pigeons. And what we'd like to say is to ask them not to feed the pigeons. We try to discourage that.
Of course, getting our act cleaned up here in Liverpool is particularly important because we've been named European Capital of Culture 2008, when hundreds and thousands of visitors will be flocking to see what makes the city so special. The last thing they'll want to find is a city where pigeons rule the roost. Ian is an expert on bird behaviour, and pigeons in particular. If you're a bit squeamish, look away now.
Pigeons are an integral part of city life, and they aren't exactly the problem. The problem is when they're crowded together, they produce lots of droppings, and droppings are not very nice at all. Out in the countryside, we'd hardly notice it, but when we're in the city, it's hard to avoid. Why are they here in the first place? Because there is so much food around. They don't even have to look for it. We literally throw it at them. And that gives rise to lots of problems. And for a start off, when you've got a concentration of droppings in one area, it can be giving off a very unpleasant smell. And when it gets wet, it gets very slippery.
The pigeons and the pigeon droppings cause us great problems in the city centre. We're currently spending 88 staff hours per day to clean the city centre as a result of this, at a cost to Liverpool City of approximately £160,000 a year.
Pigeon droppings and nests can clog up drain pipes and air intakes. And the unhealthier the pigeon, the more likely it is to transmit diseases to other pigeons. Fortunately, that does not seem to include bird flu. And they can be quite frightening when they suddenly fly up into your face.
So what's the answer? What would happen if we stopped leaving our food scraps around? Would the pigeons starve? Not at all. Pigeons are descended from wild rock doves, and they do what all birds do. They'd seek out food elsewhere. In the local parks, for example, in gardens, or even further afield in the countryside outside the city. The result? Healthier pigeons, but less of them here in the city centre, and a cleaner inner city environment. Here we see an unhealthy pigeon, which has lived on junk food that is found on city streets, next to a healthy, handsome pigeon, which enjoys a natural diet that it seeks out in fields and gardens. If you were a pigeon, which would you rather be?
That's it. I can look after myself. I'm gonna get in shape and start eating the right stuff. But it would be a lot easier if those humans stopped leaving their unwanted burgers and stuff all over the place. That would definitely make me spread my wings and find real food. Right, this lot's going in the bin for a start. I want to be a pigeon to be proud of. Hey, if there are any of you humans out there watching this, give us a helping hand. Stop feeding us your scraps and your rubbish fast food. Please?